Good morning, my XRP army, my tribe, everybody out there in YouTube land. Hey, it's morning, and once again, we are together. Hope you had a great day yesterday. Stock markets are, the markets, not just the stock market, the crypto market seems to be recovering a bit. I was presented with a young man's video last night on my stream by the name of Sats Venture. It's a very small channel. Smaller than mine, if you can believe that. Imagine that, smaller than mine. But hey, that leads me to this. Please hit that subscribe button, the like button, and share out this video. Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think of what I'm saying here today. So his whole thing, his title was, what caught me was, Bitcoin is the only asset you need. And then he went on to talk about Bitcoin. He was a young man. I believe he said he was 21 or something like that. And that Bitcoin is it. It's the only asset that will make you wealthy and save you from financial ruin, was basically what he was saying. He said it's the best asset. It's the only asset with this, that, the other, and it's the oldest asset. He may have been talking exclusively crypto, but I left a comment and I wished him well. He was talking about how silver is not an asset and is not a store of value. That silver is not a store of value, and that made me to respond. He made the remark that silver is easy to mine. I've done a little watching some mining videos and how the process goes on and how these guys are on a shoestring and they fail at a pretty high rate. And silver is not easily mined. It is not a commodity that is easy to dig out of the earth, refine, and make a profit on. And it is an industrial metal. It is used. Gold is mined and it goes into a vault, or it goes onto your ears. These things have intrinsic value in and of themselves because, what is it, 6, 8, 10,000 years of history has ingrained it into us that it's valuable. If everybody tomorrow on the earth woke up and said gold has no value, then gold has no value. But that's not going to happen because every society ingrains it into the next one that gold has value. But he was harping and harping and harping how Bitcoin was everything and everything else was nothing. You're talking to a wall at that point, but I talked to the wall. Not so much for him, although maybe he will broaden his view, although it seems he just has confirmation bias and will not listen to anything that doesn't confirm his belief that Bitcoin is the only thing that will save you. Okay, I'm not saying Bitcoin's a bad thing. It is not. And if it's your thing, go for it. I hold some. It is a good store of value under today's current situation, and probably will continue to be so as long as there is electricity. But to put forth that it is the only thing is so disingenuous and so misleading to people. Wow. Kind of like Peter Schiff railing against Bitcoin all those years ago, saying it will drop to zero. I think he's going to be proven wrong. I think he has been proven wrong and will continue to be proven wrong. So a lot of things have value, and that is, I don't buy XRP. I don't present XRP because I believe that it's the only thing there is, and that it's going to be the next tulip mania. I present it because I understand how the world's financial system operates, and that all of them, eventually, all the fiat currency systems come to an end. And did I already say that he called XRP fiat and that I was only rage baiting him? If you know anything about XRP, let that sink in and then tell me in the comments below what you think about that. XRP is fiat. So is Bitcoin. Please point to the location where I can go and I can view Bitcoin. There is no such place. There is no such place for XRP either. But they work. They function. They do things. So in a looser parameter that I cannot put my hands on this thing, therefore it does not exist, get rid of that mentality and understand that the machinations of it function within the society, the world's society. They do function and they do have value because they have functionality. Bitcoin is a store of value. XRP is an ability to transmit value across international borders very rapidly. Those things, the ability to perform functions, has value. It does work, so to speak. It labors for its keep. And so many things in the world have that value. Fine art, if you're into it and if you can afford it. There's only one Mona Lisa. And what's the value of the Mona Lisa? Pretty high. You can't buy a fraction of the Mona Lisa, though. You can't buy a fraction of the Mona Lisa. You can buy a fraction of a Bitcoin. You can buy a fraction of an XRP. Although at $3, you can probably afford to buy one whole XRP. The problem I have with being a Bitcoin maxi or a Bitcoin exclusivist is that Bitcoin, if it does, and I hope it does, what everyone says, what people are more and more beginning to say it is going to do, go to $1 million. That's only what, a 9x from here, an 8.5x. So you put let's just say you buy $100,000. You buy $100,000 worth of Bitcoin, or you buy one Bitcoin at 115, 12, 17, whatever it is today. That's 8.5 to 9x up to 1 million. Okay. You have 8 extra money, but if you bought an XRP 20x's, which it probably will if Bitcoin goes up 10x, XRP is probably going to go 20x or more than 20x. What's XLM going to do? 40x? How about XCN? Will it 100x? Yeah, probably. Because there's spillover. Not everybody on earth will chase only Bitcoin. People that are running, why would people run to these things? I'm not talking about slow adoption. I'm talking about panic. Run to these things. Why would people run to Bitcoin? Because there's an economic panic in the world. Is the economic liquidity drying up, or is it increasing? It's decreasing, and there's liquidity lockup coming, which provides panic, which will cause money to flow out of non-valuable things into things that are perceived to have value. Mona Lisas, Bitcoin, XRP. People will look at Bitcoin and say, oh my gosh, the price is so high, I can't even afford one, but I can afford 100 or 1,000 XRP. So they'll put their money into XRP because they get more of it. More ones and zeros. It comes down to human psychology. This poor guy is locked in this mentality that only it's Bitcoin and only Bitcoin will save you. Only Bitcoin will become it's the future of everything on earth. And he just doesn't understand. You have to go and study the world's financial system. That's what I encourage people to do. Learn for yourself. Learn, educate yourself. Get a book called The Creature from Jekyll Island and read it. It's a history of the United States central bank called the Federal Reserve, which is a private entity. It is not part of the federal government and has no reserves. Learn about the Federal Reserve, and you'll learn about all central banks around the world and how they operate. And you'll understand the math of the central banking systems. And the math always leads to the same exact formula. It's a loop. Inflation, hyperinflation, then repudiation. Inflation, hyperinflation, repudiation. Rinse and repeat endlessly. And along the way, The people that don't have lose everything, and it gets transferred to those that do have, because they had assets backing them up, either liquid or illiquid. Liquid, they could just go and buy up the assets that are distressed. Illiquid, they go and get a loan from a bank and buy the assets that are distressed. Any way you look at it, the haves end up with more and the have-nots end up with less. That's the cycle. Don't be one of those people. Get an education. Learn how the world's financial systems work. Learn about the life cycles of them and understand where we are in that life cycle. And then do something about it. Do not become fixated on XRP. Do not become fixated on Bitcoin. Do not become fixated on gold and silver. If there's a worldwide economic panic and couple that with food shortages, what becomes valuable? Is it the same thing? Do the same things have greater value than if you're in a time of plenty? No. Does food become valuable? What else? Medicines, maybe? What else? Skills? The ability to do something? Unplug a toilet? Fix a drain line? Repair a car? Provide basic first aid? Those things have value. You don't have to spend any money or buy anything to make yourself more valuable. Learn things that learn durable skills. I'm getting long here today. Please comment down below. Tell me what you think of the talk today. I know it's a long one, but I'd like to know. I'd like to hear it in the comments. Please share it out. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And hit that like button, please. Thank you so much. God bless you all, and have a really great day.